In this episode, I'm going to talk to you about why self doubt refuses to leave you alone and why the solution is not what you have been told. Now, have you ever wondered why lazy people they never have self doubt? People who are not ambitious, people who don't have something big to do, who are not making big decisions, you know, they don't have self doubt. You know, the people who really have self doubt, the people who are ambitious, who really wants to do big thing with their life. For instance, you are an entrepreneur and you have been thinking about that business idea, but self doubt shows up, you never start. You want to be a creator, you have content, you are thinking of ideas, but every time self doubt creeps in, you don't start. You are in a toxic relationship, but you think that, oh, if I leave him, am I ever going to get any other person? If I leave her, will I ever have somebody like them? Self doubt. You are a young man and you know that you deserve a salary raise. As a matter of fact, you are more skillful than you are, but you're like, I don't want to leave this job. I don't want to ask for a raise because of what? Because of self doubt. So this tells us that self doubt only appears when you want to do big thing with your life or when you want to go to the next level. So if you are one of these categories and you think that self-doubt is really holding you back and you really want to do big things with your life, then this episode might change your life. Welcome to Dr. Three Ways. Now, I want to quickly talk about how self-doubt actually works. So this is it. Every time you want to take the next step, every time you want to go to the next level, self-doubt creeps in. Now imagine self-doubt as that huge man that appears in front of you and says, who do you think you are? Where do you think you are going? And then it creeps in. Sometimes it even says, what will people say about you if you fail by doing this thing? Now, I want to start this business idea and they'll be like, what will people say? For instance, let me tell you the story. When I wanted to start my leadership organization I had the idea some 13, 14 years ago, but I did not start until 9 years ago in 2017. Before I started, I remember the day I called a couple of friends and said, guys, I want to start this. I want you to be on the board and all of that. I had I had anxiety. I had a lot of things going on in my mind. I was like, what if it doesn't work? What will people say? What if, do I even have what it takes? Or do I have the necessary connections? A lot of questions, were coming to my mind. That's self doubt. And that's how it works in every situation. But guess what? Despite that, I used the master model and then I used it to crush it and then to go forward to establish that organization, General Kofo Leadership Program, GOP, which has today produced hundreds of amazing, extraordinary young people around the world and which has touched tens of thousands of lives. Imagine if I never started it, right? Because of self doubt. And that's why today in this episode I'm going to tell you how you can walk through self doubt. People, generally speaking, people tell you that self doubt, you need to overcome self doubt. You need to crush self doubt. You need to burn self doubt. You need to fight self doubt. As a matter of fact, self doubt is your enemy. Wrong. I want you to stop seeing self doubt as an enemy. Start seeing self doubt in a different light. Now, let's look at it. Every serious company has a CEO, right? Now, this is the mistake a lot of people make. Self doubt is just supposed to be a what I like to call an unpaid consultant. That guy that walks in and he shows up every time. So once self doubt shows up, then it tells you that, oh, I'm about to do something big. I'm about to do something great. But people generally, 99% of people, they see that anytime self doubt crops in, be like, I'm cooked. I don't think this is going to work out. I don't think this is ever going to be possible. Let me just stop. So I want you to flip it the other way. Anytime you see self doubt show up, see self doubt as that guy telling you that yes, you're about to do great things. So a lot of people have elevated self doubt from an unpaid consultant, somebody who is supposed to be an unpaid consultant who works for you. People have turned self doubt to a CEO. And remember, every serious company has a CEO. Now, you've taken your whole life, your whole ambition, and put it in the hand of self doubt. And you have made self doubt the CEO of your life. You have made self doubt the CEO of your relationship. You have made Self-doubt, the CEO of your entire empire. And that's where the problem lies. And that's the reason why, let's say for instance, right now you're making about $60,000 or $70,000. And every time you want to make effort, you want to be like, I need to double my income. Do I need to ask for a raise? Do I need to go for another job? Do I need to start a business, a side also? Do I need to invest in something every time? And then self doubt comes and says, oh, what if it fails? What if somebody scams you? What if you ask for a raise and they sack you? What if you never find another job? And then what if? And this is the reason why a lot of people never get to move from where they are to where they want to be, because of self doubt. Because self doubt has become the CEO of their life and of their destiny. Now, I have three prescriptions for you if you're in this show. The first thing I need you to do is I want you to reframe your mindset. Stop seeing self doubt as that guy, as your enemy that is fighting you. I want you to see self doubt as your body. Every time it shows up, just know that yes, this is serious business. Yes, I need to get going because it shows that what I'm about to do is something big. It shows that what I'm about to do is something you, because self doubt shows up just before growth, it doesn't show up before failure. So a lot of people don't pursue what they're supposed to pursue because they misinterpret it. They think it's an enemy. But I want you to reframe your mindset, work on your mindset, and every time you doubt anything, you feel that big doubt in your mind. You feel anxious, be like, I don't want to go for it. Just know that you are going for something big. The next thing I need to do, which is my second prescription, is I need you to take action the right way. Now, generally, people are going to tell you that you need confidence, you need to be ready, you need to be certain before you take the next step, and then you keep waiting on your emotions that, oh, I'm going to feel ready, I'm going to feel certain. That is what that does. That is what self-doubt does for you. It tells you that you need to be confident before you do something. But if you want to change, turn things around in your life, what you have to do is to flip it and act. Even though you are not certain, even though you are scared, even though things are not looking right, just go ahead and start that business idea. Go ahead and launch it. That relationship, that person you're looking at, like, oh, this might be my perfect. Reach out to them, talk to them. You know, that raise that you need at work, talk to your manager. Just give it a shot. And tell, if seller says, oh, what if they sack? What? Just tell yourself that, oh, I don't care. Hey, Mr. Seller, I don't care. I'm just going to go ahead and just do it. I'll just do it. So when you do it, when you go ahead and act, this creates evidence. So it creates evidence for your brain, and then your brain be like, oh, okay, so there's some evidence that this guy has done something like this before. And then that evidence in turn increases your confidence. So that way you are going to brush self-doubt aside and then still go ahead to do what you are supposed to do. If you do this, you reframe your mindset, and then you act on what you're supposed to do without considering what self-doubt, Mr. Self-doubt, is saying. And then my last prescription that I want you to do is to set a standard for yourself. Right now, there are two factors at play right now. You want to get something done, you want to make more money, right? You want to have a better relationship, you want your life to change on one hand. At the other hand, self-doubt is telling you that you have to be ready, you have to be confident, you don't have what it takes. What will people say? Well, and all of that. So place that side by side, and there are two balance of forces. So you need to set a standard that is higher than that of self-doubt, because if you don't do that, it's very dangerous. Self-doubt is going to overpower you, and then you are going to shrink. When you shrink, and then you will not be able to activate or act on your ideas. And that's why only that is the reason why successful people, they know this trick. And you'll be very surprised that the most successful people are not the most confident people, as against what people think. When people see somebody show up and be like, oh my god, oh, so confident and all of that, oh, they are big achievers, they are high achievers, they never have self-doubt. That's a really big lie. If you really want to hear the truth, the people who are high achievers actually have the highest level of self-doubt. People, you see people talk, you see people appear on TV, you see people talk about achievement, and you think, oh, she never doubted herself, she's not insecure, is not insecure. If you talk to them one on one, you find out that that's not true. As a matter of fact, some of the most successful people are the most insecure people. That's the truth. So, but you think they are just made from heaven, they are just perfect, they are just rich, they are just successful, their marriage is just great, they just have everything going on for them. Nah, they acted even though they doubted themselves, and that is the only way they could break through self-doubt. Now, set that standard, set a high standard for yourself, and never go below it. If you refrain your mindset, if you start acting, not waiting to be certain, if you start setting standard that is higher than that of self-doubt, you are going to change your life. You are going to get everything you have always wanted. As a matter of fact, you are going to get the things that you have thought in your mind are too big. Again, as a reminder, let me tell you, if you are watching this and you are listening to me, every time you feel some doubt within you, remind yourself that I am on to big thing. This tells you that you are about to do something great. This tells you that what you are about to do, if you can follow through with it, your life is going to change. I want you to keep this at the back of your mind, because that is the master model at play. And this is what I want you to put in mind. Doubt is not asking you to quit. Doubt is asking you to prepare. A lot of people quit because they think every time you doubt yourself, you need to quit. No. Every time you doubt yourself, you need to prepare more so that you can achieve that thing that you set out to achieve. Whether you want to be rich, you want to make more money, you want to have better relationships or great relationships, or you want to improve your life generally. Whatever it is that you want to do, just know that every time self doubt shows up, it tells you to prepare more and not to run away. Stop shrinking. It's time to build the life you have always wanted. If you really enjoyed this, don't forget to subscribe and to follow Dr. Three Ways on all social media platforms. And I'm going to see you in my next